He stares up at the moon till he sits and rhyming in the old kind of way with that old time of timing, and he picks out the chorus on his pawn-shop guitar while he sings to the moon out in his backyard. Just another old boy, like most of us know, with the truth on his tongue and the fire in his heart while he sings to the moon out in his backyard.
This is called Grandpa's Shoulder. We moved a lot when I was a kid, both in fair and chilly weather. Sometimes I'd hear what Grandpa did, but it didn't really matter. Might be a fight about some slide or another nosy neighbor. He never joked, and the words he spoke, he'd cut you like a razor. He had his own way, based on fair play, dealing square and on the level. I've heard folks say he'd spend all day a-talking Jesus to the devil. I lived with him until he died. Since then I've been a loner, but filled with pride to know inside I'm a chip off the old man's shoulder. You can't see his face from your Cadillac window. The rose color hides all the hunger and pain. You ride down that road in your Cadillac hurry, avoiding the eyes of the man in the rain. He stands there so cold in the rain by the highway. He's probably not eaten for 2 or 3 days. Drank his last whiskey about 4 in the morning. The only thing warm is the fire in his brain. Now he may just look like some drunk old pretender, but he's someone's father or brother or son. You cannot judge from your Cadillac window, caught up in your big race to be #1. Some people say that he was a contender, a middleweight boxer of some local fame. That was before he tasted red whiskey, before he found out Mr. Daniel's first name. He owned this whole town back when he was a winner. He had all the money, the women, the rings. He looked at the world through smoky glass windows, reared back in the seat of a big limousine. He saw no one's face from his Cadillac window. The rose color hid all the hunger and pain. He rode down that road in a Cadillac hurry, avoiding the eyes of the man in the rain. The next time you see him alone on the highway, remember these words I'm saying to you. Look into the eyes of that cold, lonely stranger. That man in the rain could turn out to be you.
Your smell on my pillow won't let me lay down. I sleep on the floor by the bed. Your memory lingers like smoke on steel air. I'm sorry was all that you said. Emotions like oceans are pushed by the wind and pulled by a wandering moon. The clock in the kitchen keeps time on the shelf, and dust bunnies abide in the gloom. This floor's not as hard as your heart had to be to walk out and leave me alone. You probably think you took took everything, but your memory still lingers on. Emotions like oceans are pushed by the wind and pulled by a wandering moon. The clock in the kitchen keeps time on the shelf, and dust bunnies abide in the gloom. Emotions like oceans are pushed by the wind and pulled by a wandering moon. The clock in the kitchen keeps time on the shelf, and dust bunnies abide in the gloom. Abide in the gloom.
I attempted to sing years ago, and somebody happened to tape me with a real good microphone, and it ended my singing career. And I met her in the middle of a field at a bluegrass concert in Jemison, Alabama, back in the '80s, and she dared me to write a song.
Well, I started playing and singing when I was about 12 years old, as soon as I could learn how to play a chord on a guitar. But I didn't start writing till I was in my 20s. And with Don, I guess I was early 30s, I think, when we got together. I was trying to write some, but, you know, I trashed mine when I started hearing his poetry.
Them stripped out old coal mines, a few scraggly gyp pine, about all there is left of the place we call home. No sign of our hill or that deep dark old holler. They paid him $1 a ton, Daddy said. They paid him $1 a ton. I'll always remember her face that November when he said, "Go pack, gal, we're moving away." She lowered her eyes and her face got real hard then. "You're selling my dream for that coal man's small change." Best I remember it, from then things were different. We moved to the city when Daddy got paid. But she never smiled there, just sat and growed gray hair right there in that window that faces towards home. She died there last winter, her heart broke and bitter. He'd sold all her dreams for the price of black gold. No use to pretending I'll ever forgive him for selling her dreams or for making her old. That old man just sits there in his damned old armchair, dried egg in his chest hair, don't know what he's done. But I will remember her face, sweet and tender, the peace finally in her, when I took her home to them stripped out old coal mines and few scraggly gyp pines, all there was left of that place we called home. No sign of our hill or that deep dark old holler. They paid him $1 a ton, Daddy said. They paid him $1 a ton. He cleaned out the milk trucks for ice cream and nickels. He hustled for soft drinks and hung around sports. A smile on his face like the mouth on a pumpkin. His eyes all lit up like he might know the score. He went day and night like there was no tomorrow. His body past 40, his mind about 4. Now some of us funded him and some of us shunned him. A lot of us saw but withheld a kind word. The teachers all taught him, a businessman bought him a ball suit and cap that said his name was Ford. a smile on his face like the mouth on a pumpkin, his eyes all lit up like he might know the score. But he carried with him the love of the children. I'll always remember a man they call Ford.
Doubtful seed in the bitter ground, all that come up just withered and brown. Daddy works sometimes in town on a carpenter's crew. Mama said some way, somehow we can make do. You eat your beans, you eat your bread, feed the dreams inside your head. You trust what your mama said and you try to hang on, 'cause you know some way, somehow, your mama ain't wrong.